Can someone genuinely see a symphony or taste a painting? It sounds like science fiction, something pulled from fantasy or metaphor. Yet for some people, this is not imagination, it is perception. For those with synesthesia, the senses do not stay in their assigned lanes. Sound has color, words have flavor, numbers carry texture, and this blending is not symbolic. It is automatic, vivid, and real. Synesthesia is a neurological condition where stimulation of one sense triggers an involuntary experience in another. A musical note may appear as a burst of blue. A person's name may taste bitter or sweet. The individual is not choosing these associations. They do not fade with time. They have existed for as long as memory reaches back. To the synesthetic mind, this is normal. What makes this phenomenon unsettling is not its rarity, but what it suggests about perception itself. We assume our senses operate independently. Sight sees, sound hears, taste tastes. But the brain does not experience reality in neat categories. It constructs experience through networks. Synesthesia reveals what is usually hidden. The boundaries between senses are thinner than we believe. Neurologically, synesthesia appears to involve increased cross-communication between sensory regions of the brain. Areas that usually inhibit one another remain partially connected. When one activates, others follow. This is not damage, it is difference. A brain wired with fewer filters, less separation, more overlap. Some researchers believe synesthesia may reflect an earlier stage of human development. Infants experience the world in a blended sensory state. Color, sound, and emotion are not yet clearly separated. As the brain matures, connections are pruned, categories form. Synesthesia may occur when some of those early connections remain intact. This raises a deeper question. Are synesthetes perceiving more or filtering less? The brain's job is not to show reality as it is to simplify, to reduce information into something manageable. If synesthesia removes some of that reduction, perception becomes richer, but also more intense. Many synesthetes report heightened creativity. Music, art, mathematics, and language often feel intuitive. Patterns are felt rather than calculated. This does not mean synesthesia is a gift in a romantic sense. Overstimulation can be exhausting. Certain sounds can be overwhelming, certain words unpleasant. Perception is vivid, not always comfortable. There is also an emotional dimension. Some synesthetic experiences carry feeling automatically. Sound may not only appear red, but feel aggressive. A taste may evoke sadness. Sensory blending extends into mood. This suggests emotion itself may be a sense deeply intertwined with perception. Synesthesia challenges the idea of objective reality. If one person hears sound and another sees it, which perception is correct? Both our reality is filtered through nervous systems. What we experience is not the world itself, but the brain's translation of it. Synesthesia simply makes this truth visible. Even for those without synesthesia, faint traces exist. Music gives chills, colors feel warm or cold, sharp sounds feel harsh. These metaphors are not arbitrary. They hint at shared neural pathways. Synesthesia may exist on a spectrum, not as a switch. Understanding this condition forces a humbling realization. Human perception is not fixed, it is customizable, altered by wiring, development, culture, and attention. What you experience as reality is one version among many. Others are happening quietly, simultaneously, in minds unlike your own. This has philosophical implications. If perception varies so deeply, certainty becomes fragile. What feels obvious to you may be inaccessible to someone else. Empathy requires imagination. Science explains mechanisms, but experience remains personal. Synesthesia is not about having super senses. It is about revealing how constructed perception truly is. It shows that the brain is not a passive receiver. It is an active artist, mixing, layering, interpreting signals into something livable. So when you ask whether someone can see a symphony or taste a painting, the answer is yes. But the deeper question is this: how much of your own perception is filtered without you noticing? What colors are you not seeing? What connections are being silenced for efficiency? Synesthesia reminds us that reality is not a single channel. It is a convergence. And what we call normal is simply the most common configuration, not the most complete one. Perhaps the mind is not meant to experience everything. Perhaps limits are protective. Or perhaps, occasionally, a mind slips through those limits to show us what perception could be. Not better, just different. And in recognizing that difference, we are reminded of something essential. The world you experience is not the world, it is a translation, and every translation leaves something out.